A wise man said, you cannot solve a problem with the same level of consciousness that created it. In order to change the problem, you must raise your consciousness up. You must begin to look at the problem. No problem is fixed in time and space. Every problem is relevant to the level of consciousness that you presently possess. And in order for us to change our community, each one teach one. Each individual person taking it upon themselves to make a change. Now we have so many Facebook ministers. We have so many Instagram preachers. We have so many people that always talk. We're not in the era of talking. We're in the era of action. So you are brought here today by my vibratory frequency, by my consciousness. I called you here. Thank you for coming. So now I'm going to give you something that you won't forget. I'm going to close with mental chemistry. What is mental chemistry? You see this book?
Yes.
This book was written by J.A. Rogers. This book is a printout of his beliefs and thoughts and consciousness at the time of the writing. Are you with me?
Yes.
When you read this book, you're reading a piece of what? His thoughts. Correct? Okay. Now, when I read this book, I take what is known as a highlighter, and I highlight various points. You with me?
Yes.
Certain points that I want to remember. Certain things that really stood out. How many of you have done that? Have a highlight. Okay. So when I highlight a particular segment of a book, and then I put the book down, I give it to my brother. And I let him borrow the book. The first thing that he does is he goes through the book and he looks at the highlights. When he looks at the highlights, he now is connecting with my thoughts about what was relevant and important to me. So then he reads those particular highlights. This develops what is called mental chemistry. Mental chemistry is when two people go into the store and they say, you know what? I want to go into the sports section of the bookstore. You know what? I want to go into the history section of the store. Whenever two people purchase the same book, the same thoughts, and both of those people read that book and take different highlights and highlight the different sections of the book and then exchange the book, that develops mental chemistry. Are you with me?
Yes.
Developing mental chemistry is so important because each one teach one. We're all original people, isn't that right?
Yes.
Have you noticed the people driving by seeing black people together like, wait a minute, what y'all doing? Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
They're driving by like, wait a minute, what they got going on over there? What are they talking about? We're having a secret meeting outside. Isn't that something? We're here to talk about who we are and we're not taking it no more. How many of you in this room will allow a police officer just to smack you upside the head and you won't do nothing? Raise your hand. That's nobody. That doesn't even make sense, right?
Right.
It's important, family, that we're all on the same level of consciousness. The genius code. You see, education is not based upon memorization. Education is based upon the cultivation of your natural talent, skills, and gifts that's imbued inside of you. When you're really in the creative flow of the universal intelligence, you don't need any notes. I never need any notes to speak because I'm lining myself up with this force, with this power. I can just speak and go. And when you're in line, when you're in spirit, inspiration, when you have intuition, information, it flows to you. So all three of those eyes you're able to see. And that's called the third eye, the pineal gland. How many of you are familiar with the pineal gland? Talking about mental chemistry. The ability to look at something deeper than what's on the surface. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I close with this. You see this? This seems solid, right? But there's something underneath this. Does anyone know what it is? Earth. We begin our presentation by saying that the supreme symbol of intelligence is the question mark. Question everything, question everyone. Because from a question, you metaphysically connect with quest I on. You always ask a question. You never stop asking a question.